Hello and welcome to PlumeriaPlay. Today we are going to be generating ourselves a random build challenge. So we are going to pop over to James Turner's website and generate us a challenge to try to build. So here we are over on James Turner's website. I will link this in the description below if you're interested. I'm going to hit the generate button and let's see what we get. All right, we got an apartment. Build an apartment must have one floor, built on a 20 by 15. Our owners are 3 roommates. They love movies and minimalism, and they're afraid of visitors. Must have their ball pit. And we have a $15,581 budget. And optionally, we can try to add in an indoor pool. Okay, well, let's try and see if we can do this build. So jumping right into it, this was actually so challenging. This is my 3rd or 4th attempt, and the one that you're seeing now, I started and bulldozed like 3 times. I could not figure out what I wanted to do for this build. So I did want it to be like an apartment style building. So we are gonna turn this into a residential rental. So there's 2 different units in this build. So I figured we could use the term roommates loosely, but there is one house that you can fit 3 Sims in, just in case you wanted all 3 to be in one house together. But I did both decorate them minimalistic and as movie lovers. Although with our sad little budget of just over 15,000 simoleons, this was kind of hard to squeeze in. That's not even starter funds, and we needed to fit so much in here because we had to have 2 kitchens and 2 bathrooms because we wanted it to be like an apartment style at the very least. So the way that we're laying it out, right when you walk in, you're met with like an entryway, and then there's going to be 2 doors, one heading over to the left and one headed straight back. And then those are our 2 different units respectively. Since we also had to have a ball pit, I wanted to decorate one of the rooms for a toddler. So our first unit to the side is gonna be kind of a studio unit, and then the other one is 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And bedroom loosely because I think I end up having to delete a wall for some funds. Also, a very quick disclaimer, if you hear or see a little kitten running around, our new kitten Apollo is in here with me today. So he is just vibing in the room. I'll show him to you if I can get him to calm down enough. But I was just letting him run around and play today. I leaned heavily on eco lifestyle for this build because I find it to be both modern and minimal, and we needed it to be both. Also, I don't build a whole lot of modern builds, so this was really challenging for me for that reason as well. In this first apartment that we're decorating, I wanted to just do a little kitchenette. I figured we wouldn't have enough money to put stoves in both of them. So I think it ends up not being a stove in either of them when it's all said and done, but it is still technically a fully functional kitchen. And I did try to use the Murphy bed in here, that way they had a bit of a living room space, but it ends up having to get deleted in the end. We just did not have the funds for it. And I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of get across that these people are movie lovers. If we had had a bigger budget, we could have done like a huge TV or like even one of like the theater screens or something like that. But our budget was quite small, so it was a bit challenging to get across that these are movie lover Sims. So I tried to show that by making their spaces very cozy around their TV. Like these Sims just like to curl up in bed or on a comfy couch and watch their favorite movies. But now I'm trying to get all the essentials for both apartments. That way we know we have enough funds to work with. I end up having to delete things and like re-add things a bunch of times. So I'm sorry if that annoys you, but I was having so much trouble working within these budget constraints and also trying to make a place that has 3 roommates and one of the roommates being a toddler. But I wanted to make sure our movie spaces were kind of front and center because that was a big part of these Sims' personalities. So we really needed to make sure that they had a cozy space to watch their stuff. Changed TVs out multiple times. They both end up with that kind of crappy TV from the basement treasures kit, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I felt like we needed to kind of mix and match between actually having the things that they needed and still having a nice space to watch TV. But at this point, I think I've even broken into debug, so I'm getting like free rugs. So this is where our kitchen shrinks down. So a lot happens here. And then I was like, we need to get these movie posters in these apartments. So then I start trying to put movie movie posters, but then I ran out of money. So anyways, there's a lot of back and forth for budget reasons, but I do feel like we end up fitting in some good movie posters. Plus, I just ended up using some of the regular cheaper posters and pretending that they were movie related posters. I also needed to get across that these Sims were scared of visitors, and the way that I did that was to only have enough space for the Sims. So like we have a dining table in here, but there's only one adult chair and one high chair for the toddler. And in the other one, there is no extra places to sit. It's just bed and kitchen. So that's kind of how I was trying to get across that these Sims are scared of visitors. They do not welcome visitors into their home. So I hope that comes across well. I didn't really know how else to show that in a build like this. But as far as the decorating style, we needed to be minimalistic and modern, and I feel like we achieved that really well. The apartment that is 2 bedrooms is more of a light and bright minimalism, and then the other one that is just the studio apartment is a bit of a darker and moodier minimalistic. So I thought that was nice, and then it sets the units apart very well where it's easy to discern which one is which. But we've got both of our bathrooms fully decorated now. I know we didn't have a big budget to work with, but I still didn't want the bathrooms to be boring. So I have them both very decorated, personalized to each unit. And then here I am trying to fit in some more movie posters and realizing that I just can't. I do acknowledge that the movie posters are not technically a minimal style, but I feel like the rest of the apartment is minimalistic enough that the movie posters are okay, and then they kind of play to another part of the Sims personality. And then here I am just trying to find some other posters and be like, maybe we can pretend it's about a movie. And I feel like I end up doing okay with that. So like this one is maybe like a space movie, like a romance, maybe a movie about a book. I don't know. So it's a little bit pretend that you have to play, but I felt like it was better than nothing. And then I have this terrible habit of putting windows only on the front where the front looks good and then forgetting that I have to place them in the rest of the build. So then I had to come in and add some windows around and about. We don't add too many because we don't really have the funds to do so. And there wasn't a whole lot more that I could delete to get the funds. I did decide to take the house off of a platform. That way we could have funds from that, because I wanted to get just a little seating area back here by the ball pit. Otherwise, it would just be like a random ball pit in the backyard, and that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And I wanted to have like a structured walkway, but we didn't have money to afford like an actual tiled walkway. So I used this one from Eco Lifestyle that just looks like concrete. But we were just getting all that set up, and then I wanted to get the same concrete in the back of the build under our little seating area. I did remember to put a trash can on the lot, but there is not trash cans in each individual unit. So I'm sorry if that bothers you, but there is a trash can there in that backyard. But we are moving on to landscaping, and it is debug landscaping because at this point we only have 21 simoleons left. I do end up spending every single penny because I feel like that's what the challenge calls for. But at this point, we've got 21 simoleons left. So I just aligned the sod with bushes, and then I decided that it's time for me to spend my last 21 simoleons. So I got a little plant in here, and then the only thing that is 1 simoleon are these paw prints from cats and dogs. So I am placing them down in here just behind that dollhouse, so it's kind of tucked away. But now we are finishing up the landscaping. I couldn't decide really what I wanted to do, so we go through a few different variations, but I decided in the end that I just want to keep the bushes and then add a few flowers over on the edge. I played around with the idea of lining them all in the front, but when I started trying to do terrain paint, I didn't like the idea of it. But with that being said, we are just lining with terrain paint, and that is our build pretty much done. So hopping into our game now, I'm going to give you a quick little tour of our finished build. So this is our build from the outside. It is modern and minimalism. So right when you walk in, you're met with this little entryway right here. So in our little entry area, they both have a mailbox right next to their door, and then we use this little debug board from City Living just to kind of indicate maybe they post apartment news or things there. And then over on the left, we have our first unit. It is extremely small and simple. They have a tiny little kitchen and then a bedroom with a TV at the end. And then here is their bathroom right there. And then I have an actual movie poster right here behind the bed. And then this one we were just pretending was a movie poster. Heading into our second unit, you are met with a very cozy little living room space. They have the same TV as the other unit. And then here they have a small little dining and a little kitchenette. Oh, I did make sure to include popcorn machines in both units is another way to indicate that they're movie lovers. And then in here we have our master bedroom, if you can call it that. There is nothing in there but a bed and a rug. And then our little toddler room right here which has nothing but a dollhouse. So it's a little sparsely decorated, but to get the budget that we had to have, it's just what had to be done. And then in the back, we have our required ball pit, as well as a little seating area and our trash can. So just a quick reminder, these are what we had to achieve. So we built an apartment building. It has only one floor. It's on the 20 by 15 lot in Willow Creek. We have 3 roommates. I feel like you could do it 2 different ways. You could say that this bigger minimalism apartment has 3 roommates, technically, if you could call a toddler a roommate, or you can go 1, 2, 3. So I feel like we achieved that there, no matter which way you slice it. It is minimalistic, and they love movies to the best of my ability. They are afraid of visitors, and the way that we showed that was by only having enough space for the Sims that actually live here. They've got their ball pit, and the house is 15,581 simoleons. We were not able to fit in an indoor pool. The budget just did not allow for it. But I will pop this on the gallery for you. I'm actually gonna upload it in 2 different ways. Once we're gonna just upload it like a normal residential house. So if you don't have the For Rent expansion pack and you'd like to get this, you still can. And then the second one, I will upload it as a residential rental with the units blocked out. I'm just gonna be naming this JT Random Build Challenge, and this is the one that is a regular residential. And then swapping the lot over to a residential rental, this studio apartment is gonna be our first unit, and then this other one right here is gonna be our second unit. And on this one, I'm gonna just call it JT Random Build and then put RR for residential rentals so you know which one it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me guys know in the comments below how you think I did on this build challenge, and if you'd like to see another build challenge in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Also, really quickly, if you saw him running around, this is Apollo. He's so cute. But he's already antsy. He wants to go play again, so I'm gonna let him go play.